Good evening. Welcome back to my second attempt at Krustoo Farms Homesteading Challenge. This is February of year 3. This has been a very trying episode to record. I've had numerous problems with OBS and recording and corrupted recordings. And as you can see now, it is, 5 o'clock at night, and I had no good contracts to do today, so basically all I've done is just move products from productions into storage, transferred some manure from the cows to the greenhouse, and I think I'm going to pretty much just end this day. Let's see, how much milk is in here? 630. There's still plenty of milk in that production. So, I'll go check the other one quick like. Oh, also I put some decorations around the house. Yeah, I'll show you that quick like. Since I have 4 adoptive children and a surprise biological one on the way, I'll set up a nice little pool, swing set, clothesline, spare some of the dryer time. Little ornamental windmill, since I seem to have a windmill theme going on in this farm, and a little dinghy to use in the canal. That's probably illegal, but... Ooh, fish. You're fishy, fishy, fishy. Highlands Fishing hasn't been added to the game yet, but the pre-patch for it has been released. So I'm guessing that's the reason why I'm seeing fish in this canal, even though I've never seen fish in there before. Yeah, I'm recording this on Halloween, so 4 more days. Although this does come out the day before Highland Fishing comes out. Anyway, now that I'm done being a squirrel chasing fish, get back to checking how much milk is in the other dairy barn. Yeah, next month I need to harvest this alfalfa and get this field tilled. And I might be cutting this grass too. I think I'm going to plant some sorghum here in what's left of this field. Alright, so yeah, we have 600 milk here too. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my milk trailer. And haul the milk from both dairy barns to my dairy productions. Alright. To make things easier to maneuver, I'm going to drop my rear weight and my loader. Strong air filter, drag a loader around by it. Alright. Get the tanker wagon. Oh. See if I can snuggle up my... of course. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's see if I can close this door and get a little bit closer here. There we go. Let's go visit the other dairy barn. Yeah, I'm going to need 10 cheese and 10 butter, so I'm going to have to keep these dairies running pretty hard in order to make that much. Alright, there we go. There's a pallet of lettuce already. Alright. Yay, enclosed cab feels much better. Yeah, when I'm wearing short sleeves here in February. With snowflakes flying through the air. Although I don't think I'm going to be running it long enough for the heat to kick in, but this trailer needs a longer ton. Oversteering's the devil. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and advance to the next month for this episode since I've really got nothing to show for February. Alright, so let's see how March is going to treat me. Stone picker, forage header, a forwarder, slurry spreader, a way too big of a cultivator. Ooh, spaders are kind of nice. Though I don't need that. There's no contract for spaders, and using a spader for plowing doesn't count, even though it's effectively what that tool does. Let's check the calendar here, so... do I have this, like, producing anything? It is, producing chocolate and cheese. Oh, what? 37,000, what the hell? There's no way I have 37,000 liters of milk. This one has no liters of milk. Looks one pallet of bread. This has three. Alright, so I've got one bugged production that's producing way too much. Milk. So I've got a pallet of cheese here. What do we got over here? 100. Oh, they ran out of food again. How does this keep happening? They should not be out of food so quickly. Alright. Well, let me go grab my trailer. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to switch to the forge for this. Hmm. Tip side left. Let me check the other one here, make sure it's not out of food as well. Yeah, it ran out of food as well. So I'm gonna have to fill these up twice a day. Once when I get up in the morning and once right before I go to bed. That's kind of annoying. Well, frustrating. I'm beginning to get a little bit frustrated now. Need to calm myself down. So, the alfalfa can't be harvested yet. Let me check the grass. I can harvest the grass. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully I'll be able to harvest the alfalfa next month. Otherwise I'm just gonna have to till it in. Be a shame to waste that much valuable alfalfa that I need for cattle food. But keeping the rice going, getting the rice going is more important than keeping the alfalfa. Alright, go grab the tedder and get this tedded in the hay. Pick it up with the forage wagon, throw it in the silo so then I can trailer it into my 2 dairy barns. Yeah, well, Landini is nice. The Ford still just works better on this farm for most things. Alright, I'll be back when all this tedding is done. Alright, the tedding is done, so let's go grab my forage wagon. Got a pallet of preserved foods there. It needs to go into storage. Getting a decent bed of hay here. So get more onto the hay field and be collecting more hay per pass. Yeah, so Outer Worlds 2 came out a couple days ago. I tried it a couple times and I'm just I'm not that interested in playing it. It doesn't capture my attention very well. Considering today's my last day of the Game Pass, and here I am in Farming Simulator 25 instead, playing it on my last day where I can play it. Just shows how little the Outer Worlds 2 captured my attention. I really didn't care. Well, I won't say I disliked Outer Worlds 1, but I was just very bored by it. Thought it was very average, mediocre. And while Outer Worlds 2 seems better than 1 was, it still remains to be rather average and mediocre. I think I'll probably buy it later on when it gets on sale for like $35. I just don't think it's worth $70. So once it pops up on sale, I'll go ahead and buy it, play it some more then. But it's not worth renewing my Game Pass subscription to keep. Because renewing my Game Pass subscription pretty much is half the price of the game. That's the reason why I canceled it. It's because they raised the price and, well, they put me at a lower tier, which kind of annoys me. So technically my price stayed the same. They just took away perks and benefits. And if I wanted to regain the perks and benefits I had, I have to go to a higher tier subscription and pay more. Now I know prices go up over time, so if they came back and said, we're raising it to $15 from $12, I might have grumbled at it, but I wouldn't have thought it was completely unfair. But going to $30 from $12 is absurd. At $30 a month, I can just buy the 4 or 5 games a year that come out on Game Pass that I actually want to play. I mean, there ain't nothing coming out on Game Pass, I don't think, until Elder Scrolls 6 that I'm even really that interested in. Maybe Fallout 5, but I'm not entirely sure that either Fallout or Elder Scrolls will be any good in their next iteration. Bethesda's really just burned a lot of bridges with me. I guess the biggest value right now in Game Pass is that it keeps you from buying these games, because you get to try them and discover they're bad. Not so much that you get a value of, getting to play the game. Alright. Put the forage wagon back. And then grab my little trailer. Now this dairy barn should be getting a little bit from meadow. Alright, when do I have to plant the long grain rice? Next month. So I better be able to cut the alfalfa next month. And when do I plant sorghum? Sorghum gets planted next month as well. Alright. Looks like I need to get some more generators to bring in additional passive income. Let's see if there's any contracts available. Ooh, there's a hoeing contract. Field 32, plowing. Or a sowing contract on 37. Oh, I can't sow sunflowers. Well, I can, but my little two-row planter is completely ineffective. Inefficient, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and take this hoeing contract. So I'll put the Ford in storage here. I'll drop the WIFO and pick up my hoe. Since that hoe's kind of heavy, I'm actually going to pick up my weight. That's a nice little thing I've never been able to do until now. Let's check the sale. The John Deere tractor. I think I'm good on tractors. I got 2 of them, and I can only have at most 1 worker, so. And another thing that was in the patch notes for the patch here getting ready for the Highlands fishing extension is supposedly AI workers are supposed to be less likely to wander off, get lost, and work more efficiently. That'd be great. So I can't tell you how many times I've put a worker to work in a field and look over a few minutes later, they're like on the other side of the map or something. You get a little bit of a sore throat. I'm trucking right along 15 miles per hour. Alright, this contract's working, so I'll be back when it's done. Alright, almost done here. %, 98. There we go. Go ahead and collect this now. Alright, let's see if there's anything more. Plowing, rock removal, sowing. Nope, not for right now, there's not. Alright, let's head back to the farm. I think after the Homestead Challenge is done, I might go ahead and carry this on as a regular playthrough. Because I really like my little farmstead I got there. And being able to expand out to a real permaculture farm would be amazing. I'll probably be doing all that in my own time for my own enjoyment. The next thing I plan to upload will be on the Comlands map. And that's going to be a used machinery only challenge. It's coming up a little bit too late. It's after 10 o'clock. I should be in bed. So I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow morning. Well, I gotta get these recorded so I don't fall behind. Past experience has shown once I fall behind on recordings, I usually just end up abandoning the series. Alright. So I'm gonna start putting away all the material I got out here. All my productions and stuff. Alright, hook up my Wi-Fi, lower my forks. Looks like all my chickens still have food. I really should, considering how much I basically emptied out my silo, filling all their feeders up. Oh, and I have a pallet of eggs ready to go as well. Nice. Honey is starting to come in. Chasing away the deer. Okay, really, I'm just running over the deer. Alright, pull my forks closer together so I can go pick up this egg pallet. I'll go over and grab that cheese pallet. Yeah, using the Y-fold forklift attachment is so much easier than trying to use the front loader with pallet forks. I'll spread my forks wide again and I'll pick up these mushrooms. I wonder what the greenhouse, the root crop greenhouse is out of. Might be different elsewhere, but it just seems strange that they have enoki and oyster mushrooms instead of portobello mushrooms. So what do we got over here? We have garlic. Chili peppers. Onions. Spring onions, not regular onions. I can't make regular onions until next week. This will be coming out on the 3rd, the day before the Highlands expansion. There we go. That's a lot. See what kind of preserved food this is. It is beets. Well, it says beetroot. It's sugar. It's red beets, not sugar beets. I guess you can buy beet greens as well. That's the reason why they sometimes say beetroot, to distinguish if you're eating the greens or if you're eating the tuber. Alright, spread the fork wide and see if I can grab both of these pallets at once. Already got my flowers out of this greenhouse. Strawberries and tomatoes. Good. Got both. Alright, let's check my greenhouse, see what's missing here. Greenhouse for root crops, so it needs herbicide. No, I'm going to use the Landini for this. I think I still have herbicide tanks at the tractor dealership. I was thinking about putting up a bulk sell point. It costs the same amount per liter. But just let you skip the step of, unloading from all these totes. Well, generally speaking, in real world, buying in bulk is usually a little bit cheaper because you don't have to pay for all the packaging and definitely don't have to pay for all the labeling that goes into individually packaged products. Yep, I got this greenhouse back in operation. There's another pallet of lettuce ready to go. sale again. Yeah, kind of like that combine. It would be a bit of an upgrade from the one I got right now. Game is lagging. Alright, factory selling points, greenhouses. Something for a small. Yeah, something like this size. Of course, seeds, water, and fertilizer. Guess right there's a perfectly good place for it. Let's check the silo here for some supplies that I might need, particularly seeds and fertilizer. Alright, I'm going to stop recording for now. It is late. I am really tired. I'll just pause it and I'll pick up that recording after work tomorrow. Okay, I did some more putting stuff away, but I need to take some solid fertilizer out to my second greenhouse. I believe I have some fertilizer here in the silo. Yes, I do. Good. So dump side is right. That's good. Didn't take anywhere near as much fertilizer as I thought it would. What is it missing here? Seeds. I need seeds. Okay. And over here I planted a little garden with some sunflowers in it. I'm out of seeds. Okay. So. Go pick up some seeds quick like. Yeah, that patch seems to affect the excessive shifting too. So we're using Pioneer seeds, huh? I have no particular brand loyalty to... Oh. How many times have I driven past that without noticing that? Little toy Massey Ferguson tractor. Oh, it's a collectible. Okay. Cool. But seriously, how many times have I driven past that thing without even noticing it? Maybe I should have spent one of my months when I really don't have much to do out looking for collectibles. Alright, good. This greenhouse is back in action. I'll put the rest of these seeds in my silo for use later. I topped off both the dairy barns with hay. As you can see, while this tractor is completely outclassed by my Landini, it's still a very handy and useful tractor around the farm. If for nothing else, then there's the fact that my Landini can't fit in my dairy barns. Alright, let's check and make sure there's no contracts have popped up. Sowing, sunflowers, no. Alright, yeah, nothing up there I can do. So, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching.